Like, they will show you the videos of racial riots in the 1960s and be like, we don't have that today, therefore we are racially harmonious. That is far from the reality. I face racism every day.
Okay, we've come to this part of the discussion where we are really interested in, so now what can we do about the racism that we face, the helplessness we face, the powerlessness we face, to make maybe our world a little bit better for our children, right? So maybe I can start with Joy. You know, you talked about really fighting with your family so that they could look beyond their racism and accept you and your husband.
So that being said as well, I forgot to mention this part, which was when I got married. So you know how I split my wedding to the Indian wedding first and then the Catholic wedding? So for the Catholic wedding, I actually got my maid of honor. In fact, she's my maid of honor. She's Muslim. I actually got her to walk down the aisle in front of me. And
In church?
In church, yeah. So she was full on, like she had a hijab, and yeah, she just walked down the aisle with me. And I felt like that was very empowering. And yeah, in fact, my entire wedding entourage were like of different ethnicity, like Indian, Malay, Chinese, Filipino. So my family from Philippines also came down. So you can see a whole Filipino clan. Saul's family, so my maid of honor, I'm quite close with their family as well. So their entire family came down as well. So you would see like this row of people with like hijabs. And then like my Indian family, they're full on Indian. So you see like Indians. And then my friends are Chinese. The ministry that we run are like full on Chinese, like majority of them are Chinese. So yeah, you can see like it's quite multiracial.
And that's your way to celebrate the racial diversity in Singapore,
right.
And not pigeonhole anybody.
That's right. I feel like that's what I do, and that's what I want to continue doing.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's really inspirational.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, that was fun, and it was fun.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager, I started hearing about this, the Singaporean race, and then we will not be defined, and I was so excited about it. I was like, wow, then at least I don't have to explain if I'm Chinese or why I cannot speak Mandarin, especially when I go overseas. I think I'm ready to be Singaporean of race, but I don't know whether Singapore is ready to take me as a, there's that lah.
I think that when I was younger, I really did identify as Singaporean first and foremost. And like I never identified with my race, but it was pretty much disproven the moment I went to school because everybody just saw me as Malay and nothing else. But then I kind of got a bit jaded because I was like, damn, nobody can see past my race. I'm just underperforming lazy Malay. And it's very frustrating because I would have to work doubly hard. So I feel
prove to people that you
I'm
are
not that, exactly. Not even that I'm
lazy Malay.
Not even that I'm doing well, just that I'm not that stereotype. And I feel like right now, right, with Racial Harmony Day every year, it's always the same in schools. Like they will show you the videos of racial riots in the 1960s and be like, we don't have that today, therefore we are racially harmonious. And that's their indicator of racial harmony, that we are not like in the streets fighting each other based on race. And it's like, I mean, sure, there is some merit in that argument, but that is far from the reality. I face racism every day. Why can't you acknowledge that? Why can't you validate my experiences? And there's no safe space for me to go out there and find others who have, unless it's like literally in this setting. It's the first time in a long time that I've heard other people's experiences with racism. Even in documentaries, they're like, oh, we've gotten over racial disharmony, now we've got to tackle socioeconomic class inequality. I'm like, wait, when did we get over racism? Then it's like
I experience it every day. Excuse me?
it feels like it kind of invalidates my experiences. Even I had doubts about, am I being just too sensitive? Am I just being like overly emotional? Am I not supposed to feel hurt by these comments? Because everybody around me seems to have the same opinions. Everybody seems to find it funny and laugh along with it. So I'm like doubting myself. And then sometimes I find myself asking myself like, am I crazy? Like, am I crazy for feeling so riled up about these issues? Because nobody else seems to want to talk about it.
No, I don't think you're crazy. I think thank you for being here.
Yeah.
So that we can hear this conversation. Really appreciate it. If everybody could leave our viewers with a last thought, what's that one thing you want everybody to know? After all you've gone through and and what you've been through, what do you want people to know?
I think that we should see each other as humans, and beyond that human, I think that we should look at each other's values that we hold through conversation. I mean, like, you know, when I was hearing your story, just because I'm Malay does not mean I'm not hardworking, right? Like, that shouldn't be the value tag to it.
So in a way, not stereotype somebody
Yeah.
based on their race.
Yeah, in a sense, and you know, just asking like really, what do you believe? What do you carry with you? You know?
I would like everyone to conquer our fears, right? About having real conversations. And I think there's so much fear that we've been brought up to believe is there, but perhaps if we really sat down like this, right, and just conquered that fear and had honest conversations, because I think that the most beautiful thing about humanity is our difference. And I think that my hope is that we strive towards a society that we don't find peace in spite of our differences, but because of our differences. We find joy in each other and we celebrate each other. Then it brings us to a better space and a braver space to have these courageous conversations and say, these are our similarities, but these are our differences. And I love you all the more because of these differences. You amaze me because you are so different from me. You can just start conversations with your own circle of friends. You can maybe reflect and see if you've made racist jokes to your friends and ask them genuinely if they're okay with it. And you know, it's Hari Raya, we have this tradition of saying, of asking for forgiveness for any things that you've hurt other people, or anything you've said that was wrong, any wrongdoings. So I feel like in a sense you could like use that, like just open up a conversation. Have I hurt you and I'm sorry for that? How can I do better? So yeah.
Wow, that's so powerful.
Yeah.
Like moving towards forgiveness.
Yeah.
Moving towards, have I hurt you? How have I hurt you? I want to know.
Especially if it stems from ignorance. Because I think a lot of the time people may be ignorant and those who don't want to listen are the problem. But if you can do your part and listen to your friends and say, hey, actually you hurt me in this way, what you said is hurtful to me, and you are willing to learn, then that's really going to tackle racism ultimately, because racism stems from everyday interactions, what you say, and like how you treat people. So yeah, I think that's the root of the issue.
I really like that a lot. The small conversations we can have with family, with friends, people we meet all the time. Yeah. I'd love to, I think the time will come where I will have to have these conversations with my children, because already, even in kindergarten, is that really your mom? Is that your real mom? She's different color from you. And all that has already started, right? What color pencil do you use to color the skin of the children? I think more respect for everybody in every race and every skin tone, and not to make any assumptions, yeah.
Before we can say not to make any assumptions, we need to be aware of what assumptions we are making, and really have that conversation about, hey, you just made the assumption about me. Hey, you just made this stereotype. You assumed that I was this stereotype. And I think that awareness, that becomes the first step, to be aware that, oh, I just said something racist. I didn't even know. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Yeah, so thank you everybody for a really amazing discussion. And I think all of you are very amazing in your own personal lives, in the way that you have reacted to the different racism and then really nasty experiences you've had, and you've come out better on the other end. So thank you so much for being an inspiration.
Have you experienced something similar? Share with us your story in the comments below. And don't forget to like and share the video. Click the subscribe button below to follow our conversation.